recall the exact statements made by him or others, but here is his summary. Over the course of 2 hours, we shared with her our concerns for things, including language that has references in it, not just the latest word. Tropes, dog whistles, call them what you will. We explained to her how hurtful and how factually inaccurate they were. Most of us came out of that conversation very troubled by the answers we received. Remember, this is 4 years ago. I was not convinced she was going to a balanced approach to policy in the Middle East, but I was not convinced she would heart on these things. Anti-Semite. We take these facts as a president. Because anti-Semitism in the Democratic Party is not a violation of standards. It is, in fact, the new standard. The new standard is anti-Israel, anti-Zionism, and borders and crosses over into anti-Semitism all over the world. It's just for some things I like and some things that I hate. So, things that I like. Bill Gates is apparently fed up with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, as well he should be, because the proposals are silly, they're backwards, they're asinine, they're reproductive. Even Bill Gates is a very left-leaning dude, a career Democrat. He says that AOC is missing the big picture, that he just doesn't get it. Now, if we're going to become the Soviet Union, AOC is towards proceeding to nationalize all industry, we would abolish capitalism outright. It would die. It would be a pretty terrible place. It would be pretty harmful for the Soviet Union. I mean, I know. In fact, the national anthem for the Soviet Union was so good. I'm a big fan of objective standards. I like those rules. I'm not currently applying standards. I like we'll be back a little bit later today with 2 more hours, which is why you should subscribe at DailyWire.com. If not, we'll see you back here tomorrow. I'm Ben Shapiro. This is the Ben Shapiro Show. The Ben Shapiro Show is produced by Senya Villarreal. Executive producer Jeremy Howard.
So I can get a lot done in my tiny workshop, my minimalist shed, but I can't process big materials like sheets of plywood and the like. So this is one time when I have to brave the elements, and it happens to be 25 below when I was doing this. It was pretty cold, but you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just got a couple milk crates, and you can hear the wind whistling around. Suffice to say, I cut it a little bit big, so I have like a little over 1/8 of an inch to plane off, so I can cut them quickly with lots of room on the large side of the line, so I can run back to the shed as quickly as I could. Okay, so I've lost a bit of footage, and what I do have isn't good, so I'm just going to use a couple still photos to illustrate what's going on here. So I have the desk fully assembled, as you can see. What you guys missed is not only the installation of all this, but also the assembly of the desk itself. So these mortises went in tight, perfect, very good looking. This is a 3/8 inch plywood. On the back and the bottom is made out of plywood. This plywood overlaps a good 1.5 inches there on the back legs. Because this is a desk and is always going to be pressed against the back wall, I don't mind having that showing on the back. On the bottom, the bottom screws and I think it's just screwed, because I'm fastened with screws to the bottom of this strip that runs along each sidewall, which is glued onto the sidewall. I didn't glue on the bottom piece because changes that might have to be made in the future. I don't know. Maybe different computer components would need a different configuration. Okay, this is going to be the first startup. Hit the switch on the power unit. In the back of the drawer is the power button. Here we go. Okay guys, just installed my drawer. I don't have a drawer pull, but that will be coming on next. I just wanted to show you guys how the innards of this desk works. So the legs are coming out beautifully. I love that kind of burl kind of look to the chatoyance. I love that chatoyance look on the front of the drawer. Here's the main components of the desk itself. So right here, when you open the drawer, there's a little port right here for your headphones or whatever you need to plug in, and it can go to the back of the drawer and plug in to you got audio, mic, and 2 USB ports. Most of the things come through the back of the desk to the motherboard right there. So here's the power supply over here with its own cooling fan, hard drives, SSD. Here are my large cooling fans, because this is a wooden box, so you're talking about a fairly insulated box. You know, wood is a good insulator, so I got these 2 large fans for cooling. It is keeping the CPU temperature down at around 40 degrees Celsius pretty consistently. I'm pretty pleased with that. And there's a GPU. Nothing fancy in the way the computer works. I just want to show you how this is laid out. Don't have a fancy powerful gaming computer or anything, but just wanted to show you how this is routed. Power and storage, and over here is CPU and cooling. So this is an intake fan right here, and when the top of the desk goes on, it seals up this hole, and same as this side over here. So this fan is pulling in a lot of air coming in this way. It gets pulled over the CPU and its fan, and then it's sucked back out down through the desk with that fan there. So you have this current of cool air running over the motherboard. That is part of the design. I wish I had a little bit more room so these fans didn't have to make a 90-degree turn for air movement. That will slow down the air movement, but I just didn't have the room in the desk to do that. But it is a lot less cramped than what you'd find in a traditional computer case. So I'm hoping the airflow is actually pretty good, and you do feel a good draft of air coming out of there. So my next thing I got to do is grab the desktop and clear coat that. I'm not using clear coat, I'm using a tung oil finish on this desk. It's going to look beautiful. So be right back.
January 29th, when they purchased the row, which was something the men's attorney alluded to on Friday night. Alongside AJ also, they've wasted hundreds of man-hours under the trial by working police prisoner in season 2. Both brothers apparently left Chicago to evidence culture as they found both.
That's what I wanted to see. Let color pop in there. And now it could use a lot more. Need a bit of sand in between coats.